Hi everybody, welcome to Paper Wishes Weekly Webisodes. I'm Lene Gehrig, and today from our friends at Hunkydory Crafts, we have the Big Book of Shaped Birthday Sentiments. You guys, this is a fabulous collection. There's 370 colorful gold and silver foiled birthday greetings. And the cards that I make the most are birthday cards. What about you? Let me know in the comments. You guys, this is our giveaway card for this episode, Birthday Hugs, especially for you on your birthday. It actually uses one of our brand new paper packs so you can see the whole thing. And yeah, stick around to the end of the video and you'll learn how one lucky viewer could win this card to keep or share with a friend. So come play with us. Okay, as I said, these are 370 shaped elements for your birthday, and they alternate between gold and silver foiling. So if you can see the foiling on here, sometimes it's hard to tell with the lights, but these are gold, okay? And you're getting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of each one of these, okay? Which is really nice. And then they repeat. So this one you'll have the gold foiling, and then we'll switch to the silver foiling on these, okay? So all the different colors, pause to read these. And then we have the silver version, which has some of them are more pastel, but then there's some like navies and forest greens on them as well. Pause to read. All right, and then we've got this one with silver and definitely with pastels and gray, and then we've got some navy and purple and forest. Pause to read. All right, and then we've got the gold version, lots of bright colors, but with brown too, which is always a nice, just very neutral color. These are gold, as I said. Then we have the silver in a more pastel palette. Pause to read those. And then here we have gold. Pause to read. I know some of these are hard to read because they're foiled. And then silver. Love is just like, yay, it's your birthday and party time, happy cake day. And then I think the next ones here are more bright and they have this gold finish on them. And then that's the end of those. All right, so let's jump right in. Take a look at my 5 by 6.5 inch card, okay? And this one, I used a brand new paper pack, you guys. This one is Patchwork Roses 12 by 12 pattern cardstock, okay, from hot off the press. And it is exclusive to us here at Paper Wishes. So let's take a look. You're gonna get 2 of each of these 12 by 12 cardstocks, and you're also getting 52 cutouts. They're all double-sided, so let's take a look. I love this with the green, and the border is amazing. Hot off the press is really known for its borders, and they're just beautiful. So we've got the green, and this one I used a lot of this one on this card, okay? You can see right here, I took this one and I just went to the top right-hand corner. After covering it with solid cardstock, okay, the coordinating solid, I trimmed this corner down just slightly smaller to fit in there so it'd have a nice little border. Just trimmed that. And then on the other side, and then this amazing blue on the other side. You can see where we get the patchworks. And then here's another fantastic border, and then another border on this side, and then another border here. And then these these are cutouts or card toppers, and they measure, I always forget, they're 4 by 5.5 inches, and they fit really nicely on a 5 by 6.5 inch card. And then you can just add your greeting. It's just our way of doing like a simple one. And there's 2 sheets of all of these, remember. And on the other side, you can choose to have these, they're squares. Now you could use these all as one sheet, or I've recently cut these into like 6 by 6 squares and use them in that way. And then you've got your greetings, 2 sheets of these as well. And then on the back, like another version of the 6x6. You can cut this apart if you'd like with the border on it. Very beautiful. Okay, so this is brand new. So what I did is once I've covered my card front, you guys, then I took just a little 4-inch wide white doily, and I took one out, and I literally just put it right there on the edge before I glued this paper down. And then I trimmed it even with the card. Then I glued my paper down. Same with this little scalloped circle, which I used our scalloped die cut circle, 12 circle and scalloped cutting dies. And went ahead and did that, and then just put that right in the center of the doily and trimmed that as well. Then the whole piece of paper got glued to the card. And then right up here in the top corner, this adorable sparkly ribbon came from our light pink ribbon collection. And I just glued that down right there. Along the bottom edge, I forgot that I even forgot to grab it. This is a white fancy border dazzle sticker right along the bottom edge. I forgot to grab that, but it is listed in the supplies down below. That is just put right along the bottom edge. And then finally, you guys, I could just foam tape these silver and the light pink greetings. I chose the silver version because of course they're the right shade of pink, but also because I thought they worked really well with the sequins here. Okay, stick around to the end of the video and I'm going to tell you how this is our card giveaway and how you can win this, okay? Put it right there so I don't forget. All right, so this one, you guys, is a 6.5 by 5-inch card. And for this one, I used our also brand new Coastal Nostalgia 6x6 patterned cardstock, okay? And so for this one, it's got some little flips and flaps. So you open this flap, hip hip hooray, okay? And then you fold this down, maybe we can zoom out some. And you fold this down, we're gonna fold this out, okay? Maybe we just go some more. Jeanette, can you zoom out for me, please? Thank you.
Sorry?
Can you zoom out for me, please? Thank you. I appreciate that. And then we've got down here at the border, okay, we've got a little piece of like the sand paper that I didn't use up here. I just glued it along the bottom edge. I did ink that little cutout piece right there with a little cocoa bean and a blender, and then used another scrap from this one right here across the bottom, and then added a straight line copper dazzle sticker right across there. And then it says coordinating chipboard. So I just took my little chipboard piece here, and we have these new pins, you guys, these alcohol markers. And I just used the sort of peachy coral colored one, and I just colored that in and then inked that with the cocoa bean ink and my blender just to give it a little shading around that, and glued that. We've got another copper border here. As I said before, I just glued this great paper at the top and then saved the trim and put it down at the bottom. And then just took some little stripe paper scraps, because this is a 6-inch wide paper but a 6.5-inch wide card, and glued some little strips of paper there. Foam taped the "Yay It's Your Birthday," and then colored with that same coral colored pen those little chipboard pieces. So how did I do this flap? Okay, so I used the Nested Arches cutting die, okay, and I used, which one did I use? The second from the largest one, right here. I went ahead and just die cut that, and then on the back, I scored half inch from the bottom edge, okay, the straight edge. I just scored a 1/2 inch, folded that, inked the entire thing with my cocoa bean ink, and then just glued that. Now, it is not glued at the center. Okay, it's glued slightly to the left, okay, just so I could really feature this border. I kind of wanted an offset card. So this just lifts up really easily, and I like the interactiveness of it. So it's got the Let's Celebrate, which is foam taped, and then the Hip Hip Hooray, which is glued so it lays flat. And then on the inside, foam taped, Yay, It's Your Birthday. So the reason I chose to like not foam tape this one, because I have another one foam taped, and I just didn't want all those extra bulky layers of foam tape, okay? So yeah, this was just a really fun and easy one to put together. All right, so next, you guys, I've got a slimline tent fold card. The tent fold cards like this, and then I just turned it this way. So this is 8 1/4 inches by almost 4 inches tall. And then I used one of my favorite paper packs, Sunflowers 12 by 12 patterned cardstock, and the coordinating, well, let's say actually the coordinating solids are out of this one, so I just used a red cardstock from my stash. I think I honestly don't remember which paper pack I used, but it is listed down below the video in the supplies. So covered the card first with the red cardstock, trimmed my sunflower paper, you guys, to 7 3/4 of an inch by 3 5/8 of an inch, and then just went ahead and inked the edges of that once again using my favorite cocoa bean and blender, glued that down, and then added, just to get some more of that yellow in there, some of the yellow jewel border dazzle stickers. Just went right across the bottom edge, foam taped my little greeting right here, nice pop of red. And then I went back to the background sheet that I used for this paper, and I cut out one of the blossoms, and then I foam taped it. And I don't know if you can see on here, the centers of my blossoms, of my sunflowers, are very dimensional. They're thick, and they have a glossy look to them. And I used 3D crystal lacquer, okay? If you've never used it before, let's see, what can I show you on how to use this? Grab something quick, Lene. All right, I'm just going to use this. If you've never used it before, imagine this is the center of your sunflower. This is on the fly. And then I just filled it, and you kind of use the tip of it to spread it around, and you're staying within the confines of the flower center, okay? It's nice and thick. You just let it dry. And that's literally with just one application of it. If you want it extra thick, then you would wait for this to dry and then do another one. The more layers you have on it, the longer it's gonna dry. And if you're gonna pop this into a card, it has a little bit of a tacky feeling to it, but the longer that you let it dry, the less sticky it's going to be. Okay, so I let this dry. This has been drying for about 36 hours, okay? I would probably let it dry for another day or two before I popped it into an envelope to mail it, just so it didn't get stuck inside that envelope. Just a little bit tacky right now, okay? All right, next card. All right, you guys, this one is also a tent fold card. This one is 5 by 7 inches. The tent fold is at the top. All right, and for this one, I used Pansy Notes 12 by 12 patterned cardstock. All right, and I used within this, there are these 6 little card topper cutouts. So I used one of those here on the front. So let me show you what this does. It's just a cute little easel card. Okay, really simple to make. If you've not made an easel card before, let me show you how we did this. All you need to do is take your card and score it, okay, since it's 7 inches wide, you're doing this at 3.5 inches scored one side. All right, then I'm just sort of building my rectangle here. So I took some of this beautiful paper that has this sort of all over tapestry print in 2 shades of purple. And I trimmed that to be just slightly smaller rather, than my 7 by 5 by 7 inch card, okay? So for example, this would be like 4 7/8 of an inch, okay, by 6 7/8 of an inch. And I inked the edges of that, and then I took this card topper and I cut it out and I inked the edges brown, and then I added a little gold mirror, polished gold cardstock, and matted this card topper and glued it to the center of this rectangle of patterned paper. Then I went ahead and foam taped my little greeting there, and then on the center of each one of these, oh, I see that I lost one, I added these are little gold pearl jewel dazzle stickers. And I'm just going to use my little pokey tool. A lot of times we encourage you to use the jewel pickers for these, but I've noticed that sometimes the finish on these pearl ones make it a little difficult for the picker to work. So I'm just going to take my little pokey tool and just lift it like this. And then you just place it right there on your center and just kind of burnish it a little bit. There you go. So you have centers to your little pansies. Very cute. And then we've got a little bit of lavender gingham ribbon, okay, in our gingham ribbon collection, which I just glued right there to the little bouquet of pansies. Now, when you're gluing this large rectangle that you've constructed to your card front, you're gluing it only to the bottom part of your score line. You want it at the top completely free of glue so that it pops up like this. Then on the inside of your card, you got to put something pretty because that's going to be showing. So I just took some pattern, like a corner of the pattern paper, inked the edges of that, glued it to the center, and then it's really important that you have some sort of foam tape little stopper in there to hold your card up. All right, so I chose a sort of long greeting, put foam tape under there, and you'll see that I have more of these little jewel dazzles right there on the center of the pansies. So a really easy card to put together, but I think it's kind of a showstopper when you're working with this one. All right, you guys, this is such a fun collection to work with these big book of birthday greetings. I mean, they're all shaped. They have little die cut pieces that come out between the words, all different colors. The gold and silver foiling are really beautiful. Don't forget, we have a money saver for this, which is right there on the right hand side. If you're watching us on our Paper Wishes webisode page at paperwishes.com, then you can see the money saver, and then down below the video you'll see full color photos of all the cards, and if you click on those you'll get supply lists for each card, but then you'll also get below those photos just a huge mass of all the products that we use. If you are watching us on YouTube, it would be great if you would subscribe. It helps support our channel, and then just look below the video in the description box and you'll see a link that'll take you to this Paper Wishes webisode page, and you can get in on that money saver. So speaking of YouTube, how we do our card giveaway is we are promoting our Paper Wishes YouTube channel, which is called My Paper Wishes. So if you're watching us on our paperwishes.com webisode page, just hop on over to YouTube, search My Paper Wishes, like, comment, and subscribe. So like this video, leave us a comment, and then subscribe to our channel. And then that enters you into win this card. So we pick one lucky viewer whenever we do a card giveaway every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday videos. And then we wait about a week and we'll reply to one of their comments by saying, congratulations, YouTube username blank, you've won a card. This is how you claim it. So really easy to participate. It's free. It's a good idea to hit the notification bell at the top right hand corner on YouTube so that you know when we're trying to get a hold of you. So yeah, it's just a fun giveaway and I hope you participate. Thanks for joining me today, you guys. These sentiments are really fun to work with and I think really versatile because we all need birthday cards. Thanks for joining me and I'll see you in the next one.